of their lifetime, their earnings, into making a difference, to serve others, and to make our world into a better place.
Namaskaram. Good morning and welcome to WishwaTalks. My name is Trishant. Thank you all for joining today's event. For those of you who have attended a WishwaTalk before, a warm welcome back. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, here's a little bit about us. WishwaTalks is a space to expand the horizons of your mind. Every webinar, we call experts from different domains to discuss and examine opinions, issues, problems, and perspectives. Each webinar is an interactive session where we all walk away with more respect for each other and a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss a session, please visit our website or YouTube channel for a full library of past WishwaTalks videos on interesting topics. Today on WishwaTalks, we will be discussing on the cause health and family welfare. Our speaker for today's WishwaTalks is Mrs. Radhika Iyer Talati, and she will lead us through the session in just a few moments. In today's WishwaTalks, Radhika Iyer Talati, a renowned Yogini and holistic life practitioner, founder of Anahata Organics Private Limited Company, and also founder and trustee of Raa Foundation. And she will guide you through Ayurvedic rituals that can help promote a healthy and balanced life. Before we get started, I would like to inform our audience that our speaker will be taking questions from you after our main talk. So please leave your questions in the chat or raise a hand, and we will allow you to ask your questions in person. I request everyone to turn on your webcam while asking the questions. Now, without further ado, I invite our speaker to begin today's WishwaTalks. Namaskaram. Good morning. Just a second. Yes.
Can you hear
Good
me
morning.
now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Namaste, everyone. And I'm very, very grateful to WishwaTalks for having given me this opportunity to be talking to all of you today. I see you have several participants, and my warmest namaskar to all of you, each one of you who are here today. Our topic is very, very simple. It says Ayurvedic rituals for holistic health and well-being. Now, when we talk about health, what according to you is health? It's something that you must ask yourselves. In very scientific terms, it says that health is something that will increase your roga pratikarak shakti within. Your immunity or your metabolism gets better, your immunity gets better, and so you do not fall ill as often as, you think you would. So what should you do to increase your metabolism is the maximum amount of questions that people have asked, especially after the pandemic. Suddenly everybody has had this realization that life is so unpredictable. So what should you do to increase your metabolism is the first question. The second question most people ask is, how do you enhance your immunity? So when we talk about metabolism, what is metabolism? And most of you know what metabolism, you by and large know that metabolism is something that keeps you healthy. That's all you know. You know what immunity is. You know that immunity is something that will help you to fight diseases. Now, when I have to break down what metabolism exactly is, it says it's the process when food breaks down into nutrients. How do you increase your metabolism? Is whatever you're eating, if that is breaking down into nutrients and it is getting passed from one cell to the other, and this in turn will turn that food into energy. Now, it's as simple as that. So whatever you're eating, so now you find out what you're eating. And that is why they say that yatha brahmande tatha pinde, yatha pinde tatha brahmande. We've heard it so many times. So many people are talking about it. But how many of us are there who are really understanding what it really means? So that's what metabolism is. So it's written in your slide. It's when food breaks down into nutrients and passes into each cell of the body. And that in turn turns this into energy, and this is metabolism. So please be mindful about what you're eating. What you become is directly connected to what you eat. And that is what Ayurveda talks about all the time, that if you eat a piece of bread, you become like a bread. If you eat sattvic food, you become this light of sattva, where you become illuminated from your body, from your mind, and from your soul. So that is why the fundamental principle of Ayurveda relies heavily on food. I am so sorry about this. This is unexpected. Can you all hear me still? You can. All right.
Yes, we can.
All right. So how do you then enhance your immunity? If you're eating the right food, and if that food is something according to you, which is very, very justified, then what is immunity? Now, the intelligence of your body. It is the intelligence of the body to fight your enemies, like several kinds of viruses and bacteria, microbes that can be causing diseases. That is what immunity is all about. So that means that whatever you're eating, if it's healthy, if it is nutritious for you, it is turning that into energy. But if you're eating something that is not nutritious for you, that gets stored and dumped in your body, and that later manifests as disease. So this is very important for you to understand that what your immunity is directly related to what you're eating. So number one is food. We are all in this world for food. And so the choices that we make when we eat our food is something that we all need to understand. Now, like you know, that metabolism basically will produce more energy. And so that energy will actually enhance your body's ability to fight diseases. And so it's very important that what you eat is directly connected to how immune your system becomes. Now we come to the next slide. It says, what is the human body actually made of? It says that it's a different kind of combinations. You're not just a person, right? You have thoughts, you have emotions, you have a certain inclination towards maybe this god or this guru or that guru. So we are a combination, a kaleidoscope of several things that talks about physicality, your mental well-being, it talks about your emotional well-being, and now more than ever of spiritual well-being. So you are not just mechanical objects. Otherwise, like I just said in the slide, we would all be the same. What makes us different? Even our fingerprints are different. The way we think are different. The way we perceive a particular situation, if we are 51 of us in this room, all 51 will have a different opinion. So we are unique in terms of our perception to whatever that is available to us. So Ayurveda says that if you are focusing on the correct kind of food, your mental or emotional perception towards the same situation will be very different from somebody else. So that is how important Agni equivalent to digestion and digestion equivalent to food, and the cycle continues. So our Agni is what makes us unique. And that Agni, whether it is Jataragni, which is having the urge to eat food properly at all times because you're able to digest it, and Mandagni, where your digestive power or the digestive fire is not that active because you're not eating the right food. Having said that, you also have the mental connection and the emotional connection depending on what you are eating. So that's how important your food every day is. So when we talk about the inseparable food, you talk about the physical. So we are what we eat is very, very clear. We've spoken about in the last 5 minutes. We manifest what we think. So if you're eating the right thing, your thoughts will also go in the right direction. So Ayurveda says that if you're not eating according to the ritu, according to the seasons, if you're not eating according to your doshas, then there is a lot of imbalance in your body. And if that imbalance is there, you will not be able to live a happy, fulfilling life. So this is what it fundamentally says over so many texts, from the Charaka Samhita to the Ashtanga Hridayam. Every single text that talks about Ayurvedic wellness, it talks about balance of the doshas and equanimity with the 5 elements. We'll come to that slowly. I'm keeping it very simple, not making it too complicated and not creating too many layers. It's just very basic, upar se, for you to understand what the importance of food and what are the importance of Ayurvedic rituals are. Okay, we go on to the emotional reaction. It says that the way we respond to situations is directly related to our mental well-being. Our mental well-being is directly related to our physical well-being, right? So that's how it is all interconnected. And then when you come above that, there is a spiritual connection. There is a spirituality of you as an individual, and the whole idea of spirituality is to understand that we are all interconnected and that our journey is from me to us, and that is the core essence of Ayurveda. We talk about, that's why wellness then is propounded into 2 parts. How do you really be physically healthy? Physically health ke liye there is Ayurveda. Mental health expounded, okay, we forgot to write that, expounded by yoga. So it says that if you can bring together the body and the mind, it is yoga. And yoga means to remain in equanimity, to remain in balance. So now this is the base of Ayurveda. This is just a little bit of preview about how Ayurveda is, what it talks about, and how integral it is for you to understand that you are not just you are us. We are all interconnected to each other. So that is the reason that somebody had something in China and the entire world suffered a pandemic. So what happens in any part of the world will directly or indirectly affect you. And if every human being understands this, many, many people will be benefited. There will be no geopolitical strategy. Everybody will just live within their limits and work to better themselves, because then automatically people around them will get better. So this is about the base of Ayurveda. It is not just about the physical body or the physical body science. It is to do with understanding that you are part of the Pancha Mahabhutas, the Agni, the Jal, the Vayu, the ether, the space, and the earth, that we all are the basic manufacturing of the same consciousness. And that's what Ayurveda says. And now we talk about rituals, because I want to really talk about the rituals of Ayurveda. And this is something that I think you all must really kind of practice. And that is the reason you are part of this entire arrangement today. Now, when we talk about the rituals, can I have the first ritual, please? So I've talked about 9 rituals that you can practice every day, every single day, right? So the whole life that we are living, we live in a very 2-dimensional state. We do not really take account of how deep the very birth that we have had is, There is also the things that you eat, the things that you see, the things that you observe, the people with whom you are will greatly affect who you are as a person. So we will discuss this as we talk about the rituals. The first thing is going to bed early and waking up early. That is your first thing. Brahma Muhurte Utthanam. This is what it talks about. So it says that the body has a circadian cycle. And the circadian cycle will change every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, right? And so the body goes through this massive change every day from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. You have to benefit your body, your mind, and your state between this time. And that is why Ayurveda very, very highly recommends that in today's modern time, obviously, the things that they wrote were relevant then, and they're relevant even now. But with gadgets and with so much of modern day stress and routines happening, it is strongly, suggested that try and sleep between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock every day. So there are many people I know who sleep at about 9:30 and wake up at 3:30, and they've been doing this for almost 15, 20 years. And I have seen a huge change in their life. I observe a lot. I generally am a person who will go into layers of understanding why certain things are done. And when I observe these people, because I interact with them, I see a massive change in them every single month. They could be my yoga students, they could be my fellow meditators, and have actually observed that they've not fallen so ill. And I'm talking about most of them, 90% of those people whom I know. They've progressed financially, they've progressed spiritually, their families are much more happier. So there has to be a definite connection of waking up in the Brahma Muhurta. Of many of you who are already doing it will definitely vouch for it. And you will understand that the routine that this gives you, it gives your physical body and your mental body, is fantastic. So this is your first Ayurvedic ritual, which is propitiated throughout Ayurvedic texts and then talked about in great detail. The second one, a huge importance to Danta Dhavan, Gandush and Kavan. So they say that once you wake up, it is very important that aap apne bed mein se aise hi mat uth jao. Don't do it like that. What you need to do is sit in the bed for a few moments, pray, find out what your entire day is going to be like. Focus on the breathing once, twice, thrice. And when you're comfortable, rub your hands together, because these are your karmic energy modulators. They modulate every karma that you do. And then you rub your hands together, cover your face, open your eyes within your palms, and then wake up. So that if you can do, when you put your feet on the ground, in fact, the Indic Shastras say a lot of shlokas, a lot of important mental things that you should note when you get up, when you sleep. So if you're aware of those things and if you're practicing it, congratulations to you. After you get up from the bed, the first thing that Ayurveda talks about, shauch. So once you've relieved yourself, then comes the most important part of Danta Dhavan, Gandusht and Kaval. Now, if you've noticed, in the last 10 to 15 years, all over the world, dental health is suddenly coming into prime focus. More and more students are taking admission in dentistry colleges. Pehle aisa nahi tha. Pehle they would choose dentistry as a last if they didn't get into anything. Now there are people opting for becoming a good dentist because dental health or dental illnesses have risen by more than 32% in the last 15 years. Why? Simply because we are not giving our oral hygiene that kind of importance. Ayurvedic ritual strongly recommend Danta Dhawan. So they say that you use, us zamane mein we had neem sticks, but now even if you're using a toothbrush, you can make a conscious choice to move from a plastic toothbrush to a wooden toothbrush or a neem toothbrush. You can choose. A lot of local people are manufacturing very nice, very earthy toothpaste. And Ayurveda says that your toothpaste or your tooth powder should be astringent, it should be pungent, and it should be spicy. Those are the three rasas that they tell that your Ayurvedic powder or paste must have. And there are a lot of brands out there who are doing some fantastic work by producing locally made toothpastes. Please source them, find out who they are, and source those toothpastes. I will strongly recommend that. It's been 14 years that I have switched completely to Dantmanjan that I make at home myself. But good Dantmanjans are available. And I always believe that anything that you touch with your own finger is pranic energy. So it's not that I don't use a wooden toothbrush. When I'm traveling, sometimes I do. But by and large, I use my fingers and I use a Dantmanjan. And in fact, my oral health has definitely increased. So do try make these small changes if you're not doing it already. Then we talk about Gandusht. When we talk about Gandusht, it means oil pulling. Everybody is suddenly talking about oil pulling. What is oil pulling? Oil pulling basically is that you take about 1 or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or sesame oil, depending on what your choice is. Take about 1 or 2 tablespoons, put that in your mouth and just gargle, or just leave it in your mouth and swirl it around your mouth at least for 2 to 3 minutes. Remember, you should not drink the oil. It just should be in your mouth. What it does is removes a lot of your ama or toxicity which is in your mouth throughout the day. So more than that, it also stimulates the digestive system. It stimulates your tongue. So obviously your after Gandusht, your sense of taste will get very heightened. You'll be able to taste the actual purity of the substance. You will slowly start to reduce the masalas and the bahar ka khana, and Gandush does that to you. That's an experience I've had. And then now I don't really enjoy very spicy food, or I do not eat out most of the times. And I'm very, very happy. I don't miss out on anything. So if you have like a FOMO of checking out a new restaurant, all of that kind of comes down with a simple practice of Gandush. It's that powerful. But the whole idea is to practice it. We all know about it. And, but none of us want to practice it. So Gandush should be done in the morning. So Danta Dhavan, Gandusht and Kaval. What is Kaval? is gargling. So you take a garam pani, add a little bit of salt in it, and then gargle. That's it. So what it does is that your teeth, your gums become very healthy. Your larynx, your vocal cords, your tonsils, and in fact, your entire respiratory channel kind of becomes very clean with just these three practices. So the wall of the mouth will become stronger. And for most people, the one benefit it gives that you don't realize is that it allows for wrinkles and fine lines to disappear. So this is the power of practicing Dantadhavan, Gandushti and Kaval. It takes about 10 minutes, but my request is that, please take these 10 minutes out for yourself. If you're not able to do it every day, then at least 2 to 3 days a week. Start with that. Automatically, you will start practicing it every day. It's that good, right? Most of the diseases you don't realize is because of the leftover food, very minute particles of food that is left over in your mouth. And that actually causes a lot of diseases because that gets accumulated into your system. And over a period of time, it reaches a stage where it becomes such a serious disease, and then you have really no choice but to kind of, go for steroids or antibiotics or even surgery at times. So practice good dental hygiene. That is your second ritual. Can we move on to the third one? Mukhadhava. Okay. Mukhadhavan, we always talk about washing our face and, toning it and moisturizing it and cleaning it. But how many of us really do Mukhadhavan the way Ayurveda suggests that it should be done? So today I'll tell you. Mukhadhavan should be done 3 times in a day. First, when you are right now, after when we wake up and we are into the bathroom and we are cleaning up, that's one. Second is when you come back from, work. So suppose you're working throughout the day and then you come back at say 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That's the second time Mukhadhavan should be done. And third Mukhadhavan is when you go to sleep, just before you go to sleep. So 3 times Mukhadhavan is to be done. And how is it supposed to be done? So you take cold water, preferably, and then you splash your face vigorously, right? If you can, allow pressure. So if you have a faucet and you can put pressure on your face, then just allow the water and let your entire tiredness come away with that water. Try it out. And when you're doing it, do it mindfully. Don't have thoughts raising on what is going to happen next. We always believe that the future is what everything is, but I want to let you know that the future does not exist. It only exists in our brain. So all you do is whenever you're doing any ritual, do it 100% in presence. It's very important. So splash the cold water if you don't have a faucet with your hands, and then just let it be for about 2 to 3 seconds. Just let the water drip on its own. After that, take some rose water, and this you should do it every single time. Keep rose water handy in your bathroom and take a little bit, you get these nice eye cups, fill it up and just allow those eye cups with rose water to sit around your eyes and eyelids. And if you can open your eyes, nothing like it. I can guarantee you that if you have chashma, it will not increase, the numbers will not increase. Second, if you don't have spectacles, you will not get spectacles. Your eyesight will greatly improve. And I've seen that no infection, many people get a lot of eye infection when weather changes. This does not happen when you do Mukhadhavan properly. Your skin gets toned beautifully. The texture of your skin improves. So those are the several advantages. At this point in time, I will always suggest that you can use a gentle, mild, natural face wash, and if you don't use face washes, take a little bit of gram flour, little bit of besan, and add a little bit of chandan powder with it. Make a paste and just apply it on your face. You don't need to even buy any face wash or anything. That's what I have learned. And so as a founder of Anahata, this is what we put in our products. We make it very simple, and huge benefits have been, experienced by people who are using it. So if you have a brand like Anahata, pick up from them. If you have any other brand who do natural organic stuff, please invest in only natural products. You will be doing your body great success. That'll be really, really helpful. So that's about Mukhadavan. We go on to the next ritual. My favorite, Yogasana, Pranayam, and Dhyan. So they say that between 6 and 10 a.m. in the morning, the body is in its strongest phase. That's what it is. You are feeling the maximum amount of strength. So if you working out in a gym, or if you're walking, or if you are jogging or dancing, whatever that you're doing, asanas or any physical activity will remove sluggishness from your body throughout the day. And that is why that once you do the other 3 rituals, you take a mat and then you just stretch, jog a little. If you're not going anywhere, all you do is do sukshma kriyas, maybe a little bit of finger stretching, wrist rotation, a little bit of neck tilting, a little bit of, shoulders, arms, doing a little bit of, pulling your hands for triceps, basic stuff. Do a little bit of kati sanchalan, waist rotation, forward, backward bending. Itna bhi agar aap asan karenge, it's more than enough for a fit body. Better than asanas and just Sukshma Kriya is Surya Namaskar. I always recommend this, that 12 Surya Namaskars every morning is all you need to remain fit and to remain absolutely active. It has helped me. I've been practicing yoga for 15 years now, and very, very simple. You don't need to enroll into expensive online classes. You don't need to get out of your house even, but do it. What yoga abhyas is all about, being present and practicing. We listen to it, but how many of us are really practicing these things? And believe me, if you practice them overall, ye jo main sab bata rahi hu, takes half an hour to 40 minutes. You are trying to tell me you can't give your body and your mind 40 minutes of alone time every day? Then you got to really think about your existence at all. This is what I'm being a little direct, but believe me, this is all it takes to remain healthy. The 40 minutes that you give yourself in the morning will make sure that the rest of the 12, 15 hours that you're out there doing your day-to-day activities, you will see a huge change in that. So after yogasanas, pranayam. What kind of pranayam? Simple breathing also is fine. Sit straight. After you finished your asanas, sit straight with your spine upright. Make sure that you're sitting absolutely straight. Interlock your hands like that, or just place your palms and just lay it on your lap. Sit absolutely straight. Close your eyes. Now, when you close your eyes, say these things to yourself. I am fine. You remember that dialogue from Three Idiots, all is well, all is well. Say that to yourself, because all is well, right? So just sit straight. Give your affirmations, whatever that you want to tell yourself. Tell yourself, think about your parents, your mother, your father, because they are our first devatas. They are our first gods. Think about your Ishtadev, whoever your deva is. It can be Jesus, it can be Ram, it can be Guru Nanak Sahib, it can be whoever you want it to be. Think about them, their energy, and then just start breathing. Take a long, deep breath. Make sure your mouth is gently closed. Inhale with your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1:1:2. Remember this. That itself is pranayam. Right? Other than that, of course, if you go to yoga classes, or if you know about yoga and pranayam, simplest pranayam can be Anulom Vilom pranayam. Everybody knows it as Nadi Shodhan pranayam, where you inhale with the left nostril, hold, exhale with the right nostril, inhale with the right nostril, hold, exhale with the left nostril, 1 round. So if we can do about 7 to 10 rounds of Anulom Vilom pranayam after that, it's also fine. If you can just do mindful breathing for 5 minutes the way I told you, that's also fine, right? So you do your asanas. Asanas abhyas will take you about 7 to 8 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. If you're a good Surya Namaskar practitioner, in 10 minutes, you can do 12 Surya Namaskars. If you're not, then you can do 6 Surya Namaskars to start with. But give yourself 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that, for physical activity. 5 to 10 minutes for pranayam, and about 5 to 10 minutes for dhyan. Now, dhyan is everything. When we talk about pranayam, we also have to understand that you can live without food for maybe 1 week. You can live without water for 3, 4 days. But can you live without your breath? Now, with something that is so important for your existence itself, why would you not give it time? So this is something to think about, right? The most essential part of who we are and why we are talking about this ritual at all is the fact that we are breathing. Right now, I'm Radhika. The minute I die, it is my body, right? So prana is what keeps you who you are, makes you who you are. So please do not underestimate the power of 5 to 10 minutes of mindful breathing. That's what pranayama is. So if you're finding it very difficult, I give a few suggestions, like, maybe find a small space in your house and you make sure that you will do your yoga asanas there, or you will sit in that corner to do your dhyan or to do your pranayam. Simple things like Ujjayi pranayam, Anulom Vilom pranayam, Bhastrika, all of this. If you have a good teacher, if you've learned it, I suggest you practice it. Then we come to meditation or dhyan. The whole world is talking about it, and it is going to be the future. And to all of you people, and I'm sure that you agree that your children or your grandchildren will have to start taking meditation classes to remain sane in the next 5 to 10 years. That's how crazy the world outside is. We're all running towards something we don't know. Everybody wants more money. Everybody wants to have the glamorous life. Everybody wants to become famous. But we don't know why we want to do that, right? So when you start meditation, you get the answer to that why. And that kind of then helps you towards mindfulness, and this huge amount of peace, huge amount of calm starts in your life, and you start meeting people who are that calm and who are that mindful. And so this is a beautiful process. We talk about contemplation first and meditation later. So how do you start meditation if you've never done? Then the first thing, like I told you, that when you wake up, Brahma Muhurte Utthanam, they say that you just sit in your bed for about 3 to 4 minutes. That is called as contemplation. Just thinking about what you need to do. Do you remember anything from your sleep? Is there something that's very pressing in your head that you need to address? All of those things, start aligning them up one after the other. And then when you finish your yogasanas or your exercise, and you do a little bit of your breath work, the mind becomes absolutely clear. It kind of opens up to receive energy from the super consciousness, the quantum field out there. Right? So dhyan is very, very important. In fact, if you had to make a choice, I would say don't make a choice. But if you had to make a choice, I would say dhyan comes before everything else. I am that big a propitiator of meditation. It has changed my life. It has changed the life of so many people I have recommended it to. And it is free. It is given to you by the Almighty. You don't need to pay any amount of money to learn. Then, of course, it's your own path. If you want to gather more knowledge, and then that's your own hustle. But to meditate 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour is absolutely up to you. And that is why in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali says, Tajjapam tadartha bhavanam, that until you do not practice it, you will not understand its meaning. So please don't read books. I mean, read books, but don't not do the activity and only read about it, is what I'm trying to say. Right? So I'm just trying to tell you that life is very simple. Rituals from the Ayurveda, which I have condensed into just 9 points, are extremely simple. Now it is up to you. The ball is in your court. Whether you will be able to do this is all up to you. Right? We go on to the next slide. Snan. Okay, so Abhyanga. Yes, of course. The importance of Abhyanga. Ayurveda is all about massages. Everybody knows that. All the people who are practicing or heard or read, or all the WhatsApp university that you have and the messages that you get, everybody knows that Ayurveda talks about 2 things. It talks about dhrita, that means ghee, and it talks about taila, which is oil. And Ghrita is very important. Ghee has a very, very important place in Ayurveda. I would suggest that you talk to a qualified Ayurvedic doctor to understand your dosha and understand the importance of Abhyanga and of consuming ghee. It will be a favor you'll do to yourself. So please go seek out a good Ayurvedic doctor and get more information about what your prakriti is, what your dosha is. But generically speaking, for every single person, Abhyanga is strongly recommended. So I'll tell you what you should do. After you've done the first 4 steps, after you've done your dhyan, right? Walk into the bathroom, close the door, lay a towel on the floor of your bathroom, take a little bit of oil. So maybe a little bit of sesame oil or a little bit of olive oil, almond oil, coconut oil, whatever you like. Or you can buy some good massage oils from a lot of these authentic people who make these massages. Anahata makes amazing massage oils. There might be a lot of people around you who make these oils. So pick up a bottle, take about 2 or 3 tablespoons depending on your body, and just sit calmly. That also can be integrated with dhyan. So suppose you don't have the 5 minutes for dhyan, you walk into the bathroom and take the oil and just feel your body. Try not to think about anything else. Try not to think about work, about people. Make that a ritual. First 7-8 days, it will be difficult because people will disturb you. There will be a call at that time. But you will notice that if you're persistent, you can combine dhyana and abhyanga together. So massage your body, feel your body, love your body, give pranic energy to your body. That heals a lot of problems. You've not done it, so I can tell you, you don't understand what I'm saying, but try doing it. You don't really need to go to an Ayurvedic retreat only to experience all this. You can make your entire life an Ayurvedic retreat by just following these 9 rituals that Ayurveda says. So when you massage yourself at least 3 days a week with any natural oil, what happens is that it de-stresses your body. That's what it does. So the muscle relax, the joints become much stronger. There is better sleep. You also start to automatically sleep a lot better. It is also, it increases your stamina and your vitality. Also that all the energy centers in your body, we have about 107 and 1 outside our body, but primarily we know of 7. The 7 that are more popular. So the Kundalini Yoga talks about these 7 energy centers to start with and how these energy centers will take you to a very esoteric level of your existence. And those are things that we can do some other time. But when you practice Abhyanga, these energy centers are activated. Depending on your Prakriti, you will find this moment, now when I talk about this, think about what do I mean by this. To give you an analogy, think about one of those moments that you felt absolutely joyful. Think about it. There could be any moment. That is meditation. Now imagine that if you can achieve that by just sitting in silence every day, where you feel this beauty around you, you feel passionate about your existence, you don't have any complaints. All of that happens when you practice Abhyanga and Dhyan. It is that powerful, right? So if you have somebody to come and give you a massage, nothing like it. But self-Abhyanga is what Ayurveda talks about. It says that massaging your body gives a lot of pranic energy into your system, and that pranic energy will automatically improve your Rog Pratikarak Shakti, and your metabolism will also be regulated. It also says that Abhyanga can help you reduce your fat. So you will actually lose weight if you start massaging, right? Okay. After that, the next one is about Snan. Snan is recommended with warm water, not hot water, lukewarm water. And neem leaves are generically recommended for everybody, no matter what your prakriti or dosha is. So all you do is pluck a few neem leaves and put it in the water. So if you have a shower, you take your bath with a shower, and the last rinse you take with this neem water, the neem leaves water, and that's about it. So it says that your snan also is a place where you should be very, very peaceful. Most of us, when we are taking a bath, are or either listening to something, listening to music, or not even being aware of our body, just generally thinking about what we have to do next. So when we are taking a bath, we're thinking about what we have to do next. When we are doing something, that we think about why we should take a bath. So our monkey mind is running from one place to another. Ayurvedic ritual says that snana will not only maintain a homeostasis in your body, so it will regulate your body temperature, it is also evoke your Jataragni or your digestive fire. So how many of us correlated digestion with bathing? Actually, they're all interconnected, right? So showering will tone your muscles, especially if you've done your abhyanga. And after that, if you take like a nice shower for 10-15 minutes, it'll hydrate your skin, it will tone your muscles, it will remove all your dead skin from the body, it will maintain moisture in the body, and it will also keep you fresh, healthy, and energetic. So when you are taking a bath, take conscious bath. As a ritual, Ayurveda recommends that you must take a bath only after Abhyanga. So even if you don't have too much time, just take some oil and apply this oil all over your body and then go for a bath. So dhire, baby steps. Start like that and slowly, consciously remove any other distraction that you have when you're practicing this 40 minutes to 1 hour of rituals in the morning. Okay, we can go on to the next one. And it talks about prarthana. So we generally, they say that even before you eat anything, you're supposed to finish these rituals. So that is the reason they talk about Brahma Muhurt. So suppose you get up between, say, 4:30 and 5:45 or 6 in the morning, suppose. Then by 7:30, you are ready. You have taken your shower and, all of that is done. Between 7:30 and 7:45, you can do a 10 to 15 minute prayer. What does the prayer do to you? Okay, it basically invokes a feeling of gratitude. That's what prayer is all about. You talk about the Vedas talk about the Shanti of all the elements. It talks about Brahma Shanti, Urva Shanti, Jala Shanti, Agni Shanti, Vayu Shanti. It talks about all the elements. And when we talk about Shanti, 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 at the end of every prayer, we talk about the other worlds, the universe in itself. The second Shanti is for the peace that you will get from the earth. And the third Shanti is a peace that you'll get within. So when we talk about prayer, any God is just a representation of that quantum field, of that super consciousness. And so you bow down and you say you're grateful and you're thankful for everything that you have had in your life, and that you are hoping and praying that you have a wonderful day ahead. So your prayers are generally first for your own self, and second, for all those people who are connected with you. It could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be your community, it could be your country, it could be the world in general. But prayers will ground you. How do you do a prayer? Ayurveda says ritualistically you should light a lamp. So what is lighting a lamp? Asatoma Satgamaya. It says that the light will illuminate physically, of course, the light will illuminate that particular environment or the ambience, but the lighting of the lamp is actually of lighting of your Atman that sits as a light inside of you. And so prayer will invoke this beautiful feeling of interconnectedness, of belongingness, and this ability to kind of ground you. That's what prayer can do to you. And that is why as a ritual, you must pray to whoever your deity is. Can we have the next slide? Wonderful. And now we talk about ahara. We talk about warm, light breakfast. So Ayurveda says that there are these 3 times you must eat. The first you should eat after you've done your prayers in the morning. It should be light, but a warm breakfast. It does not recommend that you put anything cold inside your body. Then it says that you have lunch. your lunch should be the heaviest meal of the day. And then it talks about having a light dinner, preferably before sunset, right? And if it's not happening before sunset, because given our, our lifestyle now, try to have it as early as possible, at least 2 hours before your bedtime. So if Ayurveda says that you need to sleep by 10, by 7:30 or 8, you finish your dinner. So there are some rules about this. It says that you need to eat with your hands. So pranic energy will increase, that when you eat with your hands. They say that you should eat sitting down on the floor. That is also highly recommended. Why? Because a digestion, your Jataragni will activate the digestive juices. And so the food that you eat will get digested better. Then they say that you eat food that is a mixture of sattvic and rajasic, right? It asks you to remove tamasic as much as possible. It says that you can do tamasic, but you don't have to do tamasic all the time. So because we live in Kali Yuga, there is definitely this whole thing about, we have to eat bread also, we have to eat pizzas also, but you can reduce it. You can make it much lesser. So when you eat a warm, light breakfast, it talks about our meals that are there in our family, in our culture, in our lineage. So if you are a Maharashtrian, eating poha or thalipeet. If you're a Gujarati, then you eat dhokla or you eat thepla. If you are a Punjabi, you have your paratha. If you're a South Indian, you have your dosa or your idli or your upma. So eat whatever is comfortable for you, comfortable for your family. Also, it says that eat freshly prepared breakfast. So have the ability to cook a breakfast. So right now, with all the modern technology and facilities available, it's not very hard to go and cook your own meal. So everybody in the family also must help. So it's not just the mother who makes. Everybody. Ayurveda does not say that the mother of the house will cook, the others will eat. It says every single person is supposed to eat at the same time. That means everybody has to help. Everybody has to, somebody lays the table or somebody puts the plate, somebody cooks, somebody cuts the vegetables. All of these activities will also make your family united. All right. So ready-made breakfasts are also available readily, and a lot of people find it very, very convenient. But as somebody who has lived the natural life for the past 15, 16 years, I believe that what is natural, and what can be stored is definitely preserved. And it cannot be preserved with organic or natural substances. So it is preserved with chemical substances, lab-made substances. So I am a big promoter of fresh fruits, freshly made food, and eating within 1 hour of preparing the food. So this is me, and I have gone through cancer twice, and I have healed myself by just following these rituals. And unfortunately, my husband was also detected with urinary bladder cancer, and he is completely off all kind of treatments right now. Only monitoring is going on. And even for him, we have made sure that we use a natural lifestyle. Cancer is increasingly becoming common. There are more medical stores in your area than any other store. You go try and find a grocery store, but you will find a medical store before a grocery store, or the grocery store will have a medical store in it. What does that say about our society is something that we all must ponder. And if all of these things that are being circulated in the market are that good, why are more and more hospitals opening up? Why are more and more people following in? This is a time where we stop and we take a U-turn and go back to these rituals, right? So we talked about eating light, warm breakfast. Also, lighter dinner. We talk about, okay, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, Ayurveda strongly recommends this. And this is what I was going to tell you, that food detox is something Ayurveda talks about. And that is the reason in many cultures, we have all this Ekadashika Vrat, or the Muslims have a fast during their festivals. Christians believe a lot in fasting. Jews believe a lot in fasting. Of course, the Sanatana Dharma talks about remaining on liquids on certain days of the year, right? So when you fast during Ekadashi, it just kind of puts your time, like your food timetable, it organizes it better. That's all it is, really. So when you know that every Ekadashi, every 15 days, you are now remaining on a liquid. So you're fasting the entire day. What fast can do to your body is another topic altogether. But very quickly, to give you a perspective, that fasting can get rid of any disease on the planet. Any disease on the planet. If you have the ability to stay on just warm water for 3 days, there are no disease that exists that cannot go away with just remaining on hot water. That's how powerful fasting is. When you fast, you're able to kind of reorganize your entire functioning of the body. So the stomach, because all it does is keep digesting the food that you don't require. You keep eating and you keep eating and you keep eating. The digestive system, the kidneys take the brunt of it. And that is why you notice that a lot of people are coming up with more kidney-related ailments now. Because the food that you're eating, first of all, is very, very chemically active. Number two is that it comes laden with preservatives. And so obviously, your body is not able to kind of filter it out completely, because that's what you're putting into it every single day. So what is the solution? The solution is to create more demand for pesticide-free food. And that can only happen with people like you and me who demand for it, right? So, of course, that's something that will happen eventually, but immediately you can try and keep your food fresh. So you can try not to have anything that comes from a box. You can try to prepare your ingredients fresh, or you can try to minimize it as much as you can. So once again, sorry. So that's how important staying on liquid diet is. When I say liquid diet, it can be different kind of juices. So this is something I've learned from my doctor, and you can note it down and it will make a huge difference. In the morning, so say from 7:30 to say 10:30, 11, you can have citrusy fruits. You can have oranges, you can have anything that's got citric acid in it. Strawberries are there, anything that are citrusy. From 11 o'clock to about 4 o'clock in the evening, you can have any fruit that is sweet. All your sweet fruits can be had at this time. And from 5 o'clock to evening, 8, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, any fibrous fruits can be consumed. When you do a detox once a week, you remember this rule, and this will help you a lot. Another detox that you can really do is that you can have food once a day, once a week. So once a week, you have only one time ka khana. And if you're doing a one time ka khana, don't have it in the evening, have it in the morning. That will also help you a lot. It helps you reduce your weight. It gives you a lot of immunity. It kind of boosts your immunity system inside. It makes all your white blood cells, they march better with eating once a day. If you can do this once a week. Another thing is that always try to eat a meal together with the family at least once a day. So that also is in a way is a very important detox that you do not understand. Right? If the whole family will go on a liquid diet for once a week, imagine it becomes so easy for the mother or the wife in the family to organize this. 99% of the people cannot remain hungry, and that's the saddest part. And because you cannot remain hungry is where all of your issues, starting from the mind to the body to everything, starts. So that is the reason if you see all these people who are in the path of religion or the path of spirituality, you will notice that they have this aura around their face because they meditate and they know how to stay hungry. So that is the whole thing. Somebody's asking, can you repeat fruits? Yes, I can repeat. Morning hours, citric fruits, any fruit that are citrus in them. From 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, all kind of sweet fruits that are sweet. And from 5, 6 o'clock to about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night, fruits that are fibrous. So if you can note this down, this helps a lot. Also, do not have fruits over dinner. Many people have this saying, oh, let's have desserts after dinner, or let's have fruit. No, it's not good for you. Allow the body to digest the food that you've eaten. It takes 8 to 9 hours for the body to digest. What you can have before sleep is either green tea. Though green tea blends, I would recommend more than just green tea. Any green tea blend with, say, herbs in it. Have a green tea blend, or have turmeric milk, warm milk. Now that milk can be almond milk, it can be coconut milk, or it can be regular dairy milk. Half an hour before you sleep. And that brings a lot of stability in your digestive system. The next day, your excretory system will work wonderful. So this is all about food detox, and it's extremely important that, like I told you, learn to sit on the floor, have food with your family, chew your food. Ayurveda says that you can either be a bhogi, a rogi, or a yogi, depending on what you're eating. So who are you? That you decide. And where you want to go, also you decide. These are the paths that are laid out for you, and believe me, they're not difficult to follow at all. All right. So these are, I think, the 9th, and the 10th one, we have 11 rituals. 11 rituals, okay. So this ginger tea is strongly recommended in Ayurveda. Ginger should be consumed by every single person as a ritual. So ideally, if you are somebody who has a lot of pitta, so you have a lot of acidic problems, or you have digestive problems, you have constipation, or you get food infection, then you start your lunch with about 10 grams of grated ginger and kala namak. Take 10 grams of ginger, grated 10 grams, and add a pinch of kala namak to it, black salt, right? And then have that first thing, and then have your khana. It'll make a huge difference. Within the first 2-3 days only, you will see a huge difference. Number 2, if you're not very comfortable having ginger or chewing it, then have ginger tea. Garam pani mein thoda sa ginger dal do. So for 1 cup, 250 ml of water, you put about 20 or 25 grams of ginger. Cut the ginger into thin pieces, or grate them, or just pound them and place it in the water. Let this water boil for at least 5 to 6 or 7 minutes till it's completely boiled. Switch off the flame, strain this. You can drink this hot. You can add honey into it, and do not add anything else. Just ginger tea with ginger water. That's it. And if you want to make it a little more tasty, you can add a little bit of mint into it, or lemongrass into it. But if you can have 2 to 3 cups of this tea as a ritual, your entire metabolism will change. You will notice that you're also losing a lot of weight, because what ginger also does is that it gets your stomach to feel like it is already full, and then it will make sure that what you're eating becomes much lesser. Another rule about food, since we're talking about food, is that it will also, we always hear this, that you have 3/4 of the capacity of your body. So don't fill your stomach 100%. The analogy given is that if you have a mixer grinder and you fill it to the brim, it will not grind anything. Similarly, your stomach will not digest anything. It will not churn out. Remember what we talked about metabolism. We said that how your food is broken down so that the cells can carry it and then give you nutrition. That is ideal food eating habit. That is how your metabolism will increase. So don't fill your stomach. Have 3/4 of the capacity of your, suppose you can eat 4 chapatis, just have 3. And you will see that that's helping. And so what helps in that is the hot ginger tea. It gives you the sense of fulfillment that you don't want to eat. And it also is great for your blood circulation. It is great for cell regeneration. Ginger has some beautiful, beautiful benefits. So that is why in our country, hum adrak ki chai peete hain. Adrak that is how it was accommodated into day-to-day routine. But ginger tea ko consciously api. This is one thing I would like to say. You can add lemon, you can add honey, you can eat jaggery into it. All of it is good. And our last ritual is what I was telling you. that to consume warm milk with ghee and turmeric before bed every day, half an hour before bed. So if you're not the kind of person who has dairy, you can choose almond milk, or you can choose coconut milk. And so these are, this basically also what it does is it calms your body. And if you have like a overactive mind, and there are some of us who are constantly thinking, our thought process just does not stop. This helps that thought process to stop. And this is what our 11 rituals are like. And they are something that are very, very easy to follow. And they have been practiced for thousands of years. So I think now I can take questions if people are ready.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a wonderful
Very
session.
simple. I kind of put it in very simple words for people to kind of take away and practice. Because
Yes.
everybody knows everything. It's not that what I told you, you don't know. It's just about reinforcing it and giving it like a simple module that you can follow.
Great, ma'am. Ma'am, I'd like to call upon Vishwa's founder, Mrs. Shrivani Mullapudi Garu, to take the session further. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, Krishan. No need of Garu for me. Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Radhika Iyer. It was a fantastic talk, and it's needed in today's, as you said, everybody knows everything. But listening to this repetitively, even if our audience picks up 2 aspects of what you're saying and then inculcates it in their lifestyle, I guarantee you their life will change. Yeah, thank you so much. Before, I would like to request the audience to take a 30 seconds break to answer a poll for us. The purpose of this poll is to help us understand you a little better so that we can curate the topics that we bring to you. You can also let us know in the chat box how you found out about WishwaTalks. If there are certain topics you want us to talk about, please write it in the chat box. I would also like to tell the audience, a lot of people want to see the talk, but they don't subscribe for the talk. So what happens is, if you don't subscribe for today's media rules permit us to send WhatsApp messages or other kinds of messages if you are not subscribed to. It becomes easier for us to send you the links if you are subscribed. So please do subscribe for the talks. The link will be available in your chat box. And one more thing is, Facebook has banned our ads. So we request that each of you please pass on the links to all your friends and family who are interested in evolving, who want to have a better lifestyle, and who want to bring about social awareness. Like today's talk, I want every school to listen to this talk, because children at a young age, if they're able to pick up these habits, nothing like it. So please share about our link and WishwaTalks to all your friends and family. Please pass it on to at least 10 persons. Thank you. And once more, I'd like to extend my gratitude to our speaker. Wonderful talk for taking time to come on to this event.
It was, you're doing such great work, and, the least we can do is, be a part of it. And if there is any question, I kept it very, very simple so that people don't have too much of complication, but I'd be happy to answer any question.
Yeah, there are questions. We'll start. Ayurveda is a science. This is from Ms. Shruti. Ayurveda treatment are various, like Baba, herbal, and the medical science studied professional. Who is the genuinely near to real Ayurveda?
Okay. Now, if you talk about generally, now everything is an institution. Unfortunately, people have to make a living out of it, right? So the thing is that you have to identify who you feel very comfortable with. Every country is very proud of their Indic sciences, their local sciences. India is probably the only country that is not giving it its due importance. I remember my Ayurvedic teacher, Dr. Pradeep Trivedi, who I really revere, telling us that when he passed out, only those people who had less than 70 to 80% chose Ayurveda as a field. And that is so unfortunate that now you have countries like Germany who are now propounding Ayurvedic universities. They've already taken Sanskrit and they're experimenting on it. It's time that we all now make an effort and identify the doctors. There are a lot of amazing healers of Ayurveda in every city in this country. Only they're not getting highlighted. So identify, find out from your local people and find out who suits you better, how you feel when you connect with them, and only support those people. So this would be my answer to you, because there is no one answer for the question that you're asking. And yes, I absolutely agree. Ayurveda is a mother of all sciences. It's just not a science. That's it. We come from a land which is mother of every single knowledge that is available to the universe at this point in time. And we are unfortunately not being acknowledged, but that time is now going to change. The narrative is changing. People are changing. And I think it's high time. So I hope that answers your question.
It's past 12 o'clock, so we declare the session complete. But for those of you who have question answers, you feel free to continue with we will complete all the answer, all the questions raised. And if you have further questions, please raise your hands. One more from Mr. Naveen Podar. What is the basic difference in Ayurveda and homeopathy?
Very vast difference. Ayurveda is about the universe in totality with your body. It talks about the Pancha Mahabhutas. It talks about the doshas. It talks about interconnectedness. It does not talk about disease. It talks about well-being. That's the basic difference, right? So homeopathy, of course, is another. I'm not somebody who can speak about homeopathy. Though my daughter, my older daughter, is a practitioner of homeopath, and she is very comfortable with homeopathic medicines. But the biggest difference I have seen that if you practice Ayurveda, there is no disease. This is what I can tell you about Ayurveda. Ayurveda does not tell you cure for diseases. It talks about living a life without diseases. Whereas every other stream will cure your disease. So that's the biggest difference.
Yes, so I'll move on to the next question.
Since my chat box is deleted.
Yeah, you take a position.
All right. Naveen Podar has one more question. What are tamasic foods? Could you please list them? Fruits, cereals?
So tamasic foods is anything that gives you aggravation in your body. Anything that aggravates your body. So non-vegetarian food, food that come with preservatives, maida, which is dead fruit, food that is chemically activated, as all tamasic food. So basically in today's lingo, everything that you're eating, like maybe maida, a pizza base or bread or eggs, chicken, fish, meat, obviously all of that, preservative laden drinks, all of that is tamasic food. That is actually dead. So, there is this, because we run an organic manufacturing unit. And so whenever we get pulses and we get grains, within 2-3 months, even though we clean it and sun-dry, there are a lot of pests in them. And I'll get a packet of some chawal that is packed in some beautiful facility and put it out there, and there will be no pests in them. That is your first sign. That jahan pe prana hai, wahan pe the pest. Where there is no pranic energy, the organism will not go over there. So food that is alive is sattvic and rajasic. And food that is dead in many ways, it comes to, it's categorized as tamasic food.
Okay. There's a question from Sudha Navandar. The question is, do you use eye cups without rose water? Eye cups without rose water also improves eyesight?
You can. This is a ritual recommended by Ayurveda, but you can even use plain water. So little warm, but not very cold water, little warm water. And you can use your eye cups. And if you're not using eye cups, you don't have them, you can even, fill your palms with hand and then just flutter your eyes inside that palm. That is also very, very effective. Very effective. You can do that. Yes.
Just figuring out more questions.
Where
Just
do
a
we
second.
get these wooden brushes?
Yeah.
Can we get
Ma'am
it
had
on
a question.
Amazon? Is there a
Where to get the wooden brushes, apparently.
Go
What would be
online.
the recommendation?
Go online. There are some very good platforms. You have Brown Living, you have Amala Earth, you have Go Native. If you're in Bangalore, go to the Go Native stores, you will get, or online, you can get it from these platforms. You can write down the names of these platforms that are doing a lot of good work. Brown Living is doing very good work. Amala Earth and Go Native are also doing very good work. So I know about these platforms and you can definitely choose from them.
There's a question from Kruti. What are few basic Ayurvedic practices I can start with my kids?
Very good question. Children are the harbingers of everything. So you can start with them. One of the Ayurvedic practices you can start with them is the Danta Dhavan, Gandushan Kaval. This is something I think if you teach your children from a very young age, I can guarantee you they will not have any disease at all. Because your gut health will improve a lot. Second is to teach them some kind of asanas. I them Drasana, Tada, Vishasana. It helps them regulate their mood. It will also increase their mind space, making them more alert, agile, and concentrative. Third is give them this whole experience of eating on the floor. And because most of us come from very affluent families, if you can bring your children to sit on the floor and do a small prayer, the prayer can be something as simple as thank you, God, for the food we eat, or it could be a simple Sanskrit mantra if you can teach them that. If you put these 3 or 4 habits, they are sorted out. One thing that I did with my children, I have 3 kids, and I've done is that before they leave the house, whatever happens, we have a small mandir. They will sit over there, close their eyes, and tell the God there the purpose why they are going out. That's it. So even today, even if they're in a big rush and we have a train to catch or a flight to catch, they will sit for 2 minutes and say, okay, I'm going for this. I hope I'm. So they are reiterating their purpose of doing or running or doing whatever that they're doing. And that habit is with them even today. They're all very old now, but they still practice it. So these are 2 or 3 things that you can do. Very simple things. Don't force your children. The best way to teach your children is to practice it yourself. Right? So there's somebody wanting to ask a question. Jyoti Ben wants to ask a question.
A very heartfelt namaste and an earnest thank you to WishwaTalks for coming up with this beautiful session. You never fail. You should change your name from Vishwa to Vishwas. Vishwas aa jata hai aap logon mein. I don't have a question, Radhika ji. Just 2 or 3 points I'd like to make. I think if we go back to what our ancestors practiced, we can avoid a whole lot of problems from our life. We are not doing it. What we lack is an immense sense of self-pride. Atma Samman, we don't have it. If a foreigner comes and dishes out what we are practicing, we lap it up. This is what is pulling our country down. Very many years ago, I read an article in the newspaper, and I was just stumped by it. I don't know about the north, but in the south, when a woman delivers, it is a ritual that she eats pan.
Yes.
It is definitely, if there's a mother-in-law who is really commanding, she will force and ensure that the lady, she eats it. Because it enhances lactation. And now by research, they have discovered that pan has a kind of enzyme which prevents blood cancer.
True.
This is the kind of intelligence which our nannies and dadis had, who have never even seen the threshold of a school. But for us nowadays, giving a massage to the child, the infant, is a taboo. Putting oil in the ear, oh, no, doctor has not. This is why you have kids who have soda glasses when they are hardly 2.5 years of age. It is painful to see that. Nobody applies kajal to the eye. The doctor is more I'm not undermining the influence or the importance of a doctor at all. But why so much of mistrust in your own parents, in your own elders? This is something I can't understand. And I have been benefited with Ayurveda treatment in such an immense way. I was diagnosed with psoriasis in 2008, and within couple of months I was blessed with psoriatic arthritis also. It was so bad that I couldn't walk. I couldn't cross the threshold of my house without two people holding me. Today, thanks to Ayurveda, I can climb a flight of up to 4 floors.
Wow.
Ayurveda is got no sani. Nothing can be like Ayurveda. And I will incorporate you and your family also in my list of prayers, Radhika ji. God bless you, ma.
Thank you so much. Thank you. She raised a very valid point, and why this ignorance is simply because we haven't been communicated like that, you know. So from a young age, when we were growing up, our parents didn't give us the full 360-degree view for whatever reasons. And so now I personally feel that the children are bearing a brunt of it. I, in fact, consult a lot of girls who are not able to conceive. And a lot of people who we talk to or I recommend to tell me that many parents have made their children a project, you know. So from both sides, it's very important to, like, that is why Ayurveda talks about balance in the way you live your life, what you speak, how you interact with people. So I've realized one thing is that life is made very complicated because our ego comes in the middle of everything. The minute we can get rid of that and, you know, look at the larger purpose. If we, as a person, today when I came to this talk, my intention was to genuinely help people understand what I know. But if my intention is something else, then the talk is not this beautiful, because there is no interaction. Because here I am with my ego telling you all that what you know is wrong, but what I know is right. And 90% of us live our life like that. So when you practice these rituals, what I have understood is that my life, the way I look at things, the way I respond to things has changed immensely. And so Ayurveda will work at a very, very deep level, almost leading a very esoteric life, you know, where you are able to feel all the senses and yet not attached to it. So I think we can go very deep into this subject because I'm sure people who have joined in also are of the same mindset. But overall, I think each one of us can practice, like what was said earlier, that even one or two of these things, and believe me, but please practice it. I always say that use a 21-day rule. Do one thing for 21 days and see how it changes your life. I think
just one last thing I would like to share. If anybody is consuming seedless grapes and seedless fruits, kindly refrain from doing that because research has discovered that it leads to infertility.
Yes.
So please don't do that.
It also has lead inside it, very small amount of lead in it. So the seeds in, especially apples, are avoided, but the seeds in grapes are actually very good for you. You know, like my doctor used to tell me, Pankaj Dhabi, he's unfortunately no more. And I feel it's a big loss to people in Gujarat and Bombay because he was visiting as a naturopath over there. And he would give us these simple explanations that agar aap aloo ko mazar se lakar rakhte ho, छिलके के साथ वो रहता है 15-20 दिन और उसका छिलका निकाल के रखते तो क्यों नहीं रहता? So he used to say that how can you eat the aloo without the chilka? Because it is a chilka that has all the nutrients.
Exactly.
You know, simple things like this. You know, for example, you have D3, B12 deficiency, then cauliflower. The cauliflower, the way it is unearthed. So with its leaves, with its roots, you're supposed to consume it. You will not have any vitamin deficiency at all. Right? A lot of manganese in it. And then you talk about this Western world that says that, you know, use vitamin supplements and this. Please don't pop a pill. Please. There is enough vitamins and minerals in the environment. Sit in the sun for 5 to 10 minutes every day and all your D3 issues will be solved. So people don't want to do simple things. I don't know why they want to go the complicated way, spend money. I fail to understand that, unfortunately.
Another question. Yeah. Yes, ma'am, please.
What could good natural replacement for makeup like foundation?
Yeah, so that's
I'll-
a good question. No, I heard it. I couldn't hear it completely, but I know what you mean. There really is, I would say, the glow from your own face. Like, I don't apply anything. I meditate and there is this charm around you. But of course, that's a little too wide. But for day-to-day thing, there are some very good organizations and companies that are making natural makeup and foundation. I use this company called Ruby's Organic, and I like their lipsticks also a lot, and I like the foundation a lot. You can try them out. Other than Ruby's, I don't know, but I can definitely research and send a message on to Vishwa, and then maybe they can share it with you. But I am using Rubies. I even like Sugar Cosmetics. They're doing quite well. There's a lot of phthalate free stuff that they do. But actually, you raise a very important question, because makeup, the way we look, the way we want to appear, every lipstick that you buy is causing a death of 3 children in some part of the world, because they are digging into deep tunnels to retrieve your mica, which is the main ingredient for all your cosmetics. So please, very conscious when you're buying every eyebrow or makeup bristle that you use. The pigs that they use as pork, the skin of those pigs, the hair is separated from them and bristles are made out of that. So consciously buy what you're buying. It's also going to take some time, because all of these industries have set themselves up for the last 30, 40 years. So for us to kind of make them obsolete or force them to change into natural produce, it's going to take 10, 12 years. But it is very important that we know what we are doing to look the way we want to look. All your gadgets are being powered by cobalt. Cobalt are getting, you can only source cobalt from countries in Africa and Indonesia, where small children go into tunnels and they don't live 11 to 12 years also of their age. They're that tiny and they're put into these tunnels because there's no other way to retrieve these minerals. So make a conscious choice. Whatever product that you're using, research about it, but also understand that you might not get an alternative immediately. So don't get frustrated, because even that is some kind of an anxiety, and that is also a stress that you do not require. So accept things and make a conscious choice and move along. Try to buy only what is necessary, not because you want it. Try to recycle, support thrift stores, support secondhand goods. There's nothing wrong in it, as long as it's something that comes into your parameter. These are conscious choices that you can make. Carry a steel straw with you, carry a tumbler with you, carry a flask with you. Whenever you go to a thela, tell that guy that you will not have anything in a plastic plate or a cup. So these are small things that you can really do to add up.
The next question. I think this is one of the last questions. What oil to be used for oil pulling?
Sesame or coconut?
Sesame or coconut. Right.
Either one of the two.
Okay, I think we are done. Doctor said that avoid sugar completely. Is this okay or not? This is a question from the Seema.
Sugar is anyways to be avoided. Sugar is not something that you are supposed to, because it's refined. If you really like sweet, have jaggery. Organic jaggery is so nice. Honey, if you are not like if you don't mind having honey is very good for you. So you have to anyways avoid sugar. You reduce sugar from your day-to-day intake, and you see how your diseases fly away from the window. You lose weight. First of all, people who are worried about weight gain, stop sugar, refined sugar. But there's also the brown sugar that comes, but I don't think there's much difference. I also believe in moderation. I believe that if you like to have sugar, maybe start by reducing the quantity and then just say that, okay, one day of a week, I'm going to have something with sugar. So moderation is always very good. I believe in moderation. Yes.
There's one more question. What type of oil is recommended for cooking vegetables according to Ayurveda?
Ayurveda says to circulate oils. It strongly recommends coconut oil and sesame oil. But now the modern version of it, as Ayurvedic practitioners are also researching, they say that don't stick to any one oil and definitely don't use refined oil. So you can use, say, sunflower oil, or you can use cottonseed oil or sesame oil or groundnut oil. And they always say that circulate it every 4, 5 months, 6 months, change your oil. It also anyways recommends ghee more than oil in everything, So ghrita is like gold. So it says that if you can use more ghee, it is better than using any oil. But otherwise, coconut and sesame are the king. After that is almond oil and groundnut oil. So coconut and sesame for everything. They strongly recommend that. Even mustard oil to some extent. Yeah.
So I think the questions that I missed some of the questions in the chat box, but I think how many times we're supposed to apply oil on the hair, Ms. Nasima Khan?
It all depends on your in your own routine. So ideally, there are people who apply oil every day, like in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. If you go, they apply oil every day and then they wash their hair. I strongly recommend, given our day-to-day lifestyle, twice a week you must oil your hair. Like I had lost a lot of my hair because of cancer and also because of thyroid. And now I have very good hair growth ever since I started oiling it 2 times a week. So I leave it overnight and wash it with a gentle shampoo the next day. So I would recommend 2 times.
Can you explain again how to do self-abhyanga?
Self-abhyanga is basically massaging your own body. So what I personally do is that I will put a towel in the bathroom, and then I will take oil and I will sit my back against a wall, and then take the oil and apply all over my body. Most of the times there's a chant going on, or I am just focusing on my breathing. But this has taken me 10 to 12 years of practice. Initially, it was very difficult for me to do this. But just basically applying oil all over your body consciously, especially they say that where there is pain, suppose you have a knee pain or your shoulder pain. So they say that, ideally, this is what Ayurvedic teachers have taught me, that you will invoke that part of your body, because we are 160 trillion cells, right? We are not just one. So we are a combination of germs and cells, and 160 cells, 3 times that are germs in our body. Correct? So we should really forget about the Dettol ad right now. Germs is what makes us. They are the ones that create our biome. Everybody knows that now. Your gut is lined with good germs and good bacteria and good microbes that basically ensure that you live a healthy life, right? So what you do is you rub your hands for prana, for good energy, and focus on that particular area. So suppose I have a knee injury and I will focus on that area, and then I'll take the oil and apply it in that area with that faith that I am feeling better and I am feeling very well. It works like magic because it has a placebo effect. What no medicine can cure, your mind can cure. And to reach that particular body, Ayurveda recommends abhyanga. So he says that if you touch your body yourself, you give yourself self-love first. Feel your body. Don't be ashamed of your body. Don't be ashamed of the scars, of the cellulite, of the fat. Accept it and work towards making it better. And that abhyanga can do for you. So self-abhyanga is about having that thought and about 5 to 6 minutes and then taking a bath. That's all.
So with this, we close the whole talk. Thank you so much. I want to tell one last thing. Has started the Udi drive in India. We have a habit of cleaning up the entire premise before. So you do that, please have things in your cupboards, in your house that you cherish, you nourish, and that you want and that you love. And for those items which you haven't used for 2 years, please donate it to Vishwa. We are giving it to the needy. And for all of you who are in Hyderabad or who are, please, Vishwa drive. And I would recommend that if your people have, please sure that this some kind of doing of old materials goes into the tribe.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful initiative. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With this,
Thank
we
you.
close.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's session. Please follow Anatha Organics and Raa Foundation for finding out more about yoga, meditation, organic cosmetics. You please do follow Vishwa for experiencing such sessions and also getting more insights on different topics. Thank you so much. With this, I close today's session.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I request you to join the breakout room right now. So we're going to send a link right away.
Thank you.
Lakshmi links